you will lose everything you love, everything. And that truth is not a curse, it is the beginning of your freedom. The Stoics understood something we have forgotten, that peace is not found in a perfect life, it is found in a settled mind. 2,000 years ago, a slave named Epictetus, a playwright named Seneca, and an emperor named Marcus Aurelius arrived at the same quiet conclusion, that almost nothing in this world is truly yours to command, and that the moment you accept this, you stop suffering. Begin here. There are things within your control and things outside of it. Your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, your effort, these belong to you. The weather, the past, the opinions of others, the outcome of your work, the length of your life, these do not. Epictetus called this the single most important distinction a person can make. He said we suffer not because of what happens to us, but because of what we tell ourselves about what happens. Consider how much of your pain lives in the gap between what is and what you want it to be. The traffic is not what angers you. Your demand that the traffic obey you, that is what angers you. The insult is not what wounds you. Your belief that the insult should not have happened, that is the wound. Remove the demand, and the suffering has nowhere to stand. Epictetus taught his students to watch the first movement of the mind. Something happens, and instantly we attach a story to it. He is against me. This is a disaster. I cannot bear this. But the event itself is silent. It carries no meaning until we give it one. So learn to pause in that narrow space between what happens and what you decide it means. In that space is your whole freedom. A rumor reaches you. Before you suffer over it, ask, is this in my control? Is this even certain? Most of our misery is built on stories we never once stopped to question. This is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is the hardest discipline a human being can practice, to meet the world as it actually is, and not as you wish it were. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth, and every morning before the weight of the day fell upon him, he wrote himself a warning. Today I will meet people who are ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, and unkind. They are this way because they cannot tell the difference between good and evil, but I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and so none of them can harm me. Think about that. The most powerful man alive prepared for disappointment, not so he could avoid it, but so it could not move him. He did not expect the world to be gentle, and because he expected nothing, nothing could break him. We do the opposite. We expect ease, and we are shattered by difficulty. We expect fairness, and we are poisoned by every injustice. The Stoic does not lower his standards for himself. He lowers his demands upon the world. Seneca wrote an entire book on anger because he understood it for what it is, a brief madness. Anger promises to protect us, and instead it hands our peace to whoever provoked us. The wise man, he said, does not need anger in order to act. He corrects what is wrong, not because he is inflamed, but because it is right. So when you feel the heat begin to rise, delay. Anger cannot survive patience. Give it a single hour, and the thing that felt unbearable becomes small enough to smile at. There is an old line, worn smooth by time, the obstacle is the way. It means that the thing standing in your path is not blocking your path. It is the path. The illness that stops you teaches you patience. The betrayal that breaks you teaches you discernment. The failure that humbles you teaches you what victory never could. Marcus wrote that the mind adapts and turns to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. What stands in the way becomes the way. You have been taught to wait for the storm to pass. The Stoic learns to work inside the storm, because he knows the storm is not an interruption of the life. The storm is the life. And so they practiced a strange kind of love. They called it Amor Fati, the love of fate, not merely to accept what happens, not merely to endure it, but to love it, to look at the very thing you would never have chosen and to say, yes, this too, I would have it no other way. Nietzsche, centuries later, called this the formula for greatness in a human being, that a person wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not for all eternity. This is the turn most people never make. It is easy to be grateful for the gift. It is the work of a lifetime to be grateful for the wound. But the person who can do this cannot be defeated, because you cannot take anything from someone who has already made peace with losing it. Which brings us to the hardest teaching and the most freeing. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. The Stoics kept death close, not to frighten themselves, but to wake themselves. Seneca said it plainly. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. We squander decades on things that do not matter, on grudges, on worry, on the endless rehearsal of imagined futures, and then we act surprised that there is no time left. You are not running out of money. You can earn more. You are running out of days, and you cannot earn a single one of them back. Seneca wrote that men are careful in guarding their fortune, but wasteful with the one thing where being careful is honorable, their time. So the question is not, how long will I live? The question is, am I living now? Are you present in this hour, or lost in 100 others? The Stoic does not fear death. He fears arriving at it, never having truly lived. Confine yourself to the present, Marcus told himself again and again. You do not carry your whole life at once. You carry only this moment. The past is gone and cannot touch you. The future has not arrived and may never wear the face you fear. All your strength, all your peace exists here, in the only hour that is real. So when your mind runs backward into regret or forward into dread, call it gently home. There is only now. There has only ever been now. Let all of this settle into one practice. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, a fortress inside you that no event can enter without your permission. Outside those walls, the world does as it pleases. Fortunes rise and fall, people come and go, the body ages, the plans collapse. But inside is a place that belongs only to you, your response, your character, the way you choose to meet whatever comes. They could take everything from Epictetus. He was born a slave, and his leg was broken and left crooked by a cruel master, and yet he said, "You can chain my leg, but not even the gods can conquer my will." That is the inner citadel. That is the freedom no one can take. The Stoics did not wait for hardship to find them. They rehearsed it. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would set aside days to eat the plainest food and wear the roughest clothes, and then ask himself, "Is this the condition I so feared?" He practiced loss while he still had everything, so that if loss ever came, it would find him already unafraid. Do the hard thing before you are forced to. Take the cold water. Sit with the hunger. Feel the discomfort you spend your whole life avoiding, and discover that you can survive it. Every fear you walk toward grows smaller. Every fear you flee grows teeth. And when the small worries crowd in, the Stoics practiced what Marcus called the view from above. Rise in your mind above your house, above your city, above the whole turning earth. See the armies and the arguments, the fortunes and the funerals, all of it, tiny and brief. Your crisis, seen from that height, is a single wave in an endless sea. This is not to make you feel small. It is to make your troubles the right size. Most of what steals your peace cannot survive being seen from so far above. And what of the opinions of others, that quiet tyrant that rules so many lives? Marcus asked himself a simple question. Have you ever truly seen the minds of the people whose approval you crave? If you could see how anxious and divided they are within, you would not hand them the keys to your own peace. Do what is right, then let them say what they will. Their applause cannot complete you, and their scorn cannot diminish you, unless you agree to it. So here is what the ancients would ask of you tonight. Stop demanding that the world be other than it is. Let the ungrateful be ungrateful. Let the outcome be uncertain. Let the past stay where it is, finished and untouchable. Turn your whole attention to the small kingdom you actually rule. This thought, this choice, this breath, this single act of will. You will still feel pain. The Stoic is not made of stone, whatever the word has come to mean. He weeps, he loses, he grieves, but he is not ruled by any of it. He holds his life the way you would hold water in an open hand, gently, gratefully, and without the desperate grip that crushes the very thing it loves. You will lose everything you love. This was true the moment you were born, and it never once threatened your peace until you decided to be afraid of it. So decide differently. Love it anyway. Love it precisely because it will end. That is not despair. That is the deepest sanity a human being can reach. The obstacle is the way. Amor Fati, Memento Mori. 3 ancient phrases, 1 quiet instruction. Meet your fate like a friend. Waste nothing, and guard the one thing that was always only yours. The world will keep turning without your permission. Let it. And in the middle of all that turning, be still. That is the whole of it. That is the peace the Stoics died knowing. And it is waiting for you in this ordinary moment, the instant you stop fighting what already is.